Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm happy that you joined me. I'm Jennifer and I love to talk about movies, and today I'm continuing with my Star Wars review series with Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I just want to start off by saying that this review will contain spoilers, so if you have not seen Rogue One, I highly recommend watching it. It is available on Disney+, or if you don't care about spoilers, then come right in. Let's get started. Former scientist Galen Erso lives on a farm with his wife and young daughter Jin. His peaceful existence comes crashing down when the evil Orson Krennic takes him away from his beloved family. Many years later, he becomes the Empire's lead engineer for the most powerful weapon in the galaxy, the Death Star. Knowing that her father holds the key to its destruction, Jin joins forces with the spy and other resistance fighters to steal the space station's plans for the Rebel Alliance. So off the bat, I just want to say that I really enjoy this movie, and I think this is a movie that definitely has enhanced my experience watching the original trilogy of Star Wars, because this is essentially another spin-off movie, and it is a prequel basically to events that happened in the original trilogy, because this is right before Star Wars A New Hope. And I think it's a movie that was really important to the franchise and just adds so much, where I could argue that the other spin-off Star Wars movie, which was Solo, that I just recently reviewed, you know, it didn't really impact that much the Star Wars universe, but I feel like this one has just made it better. Like, now when I watch A New Hope and Leia talks about the plans, I'm like, I know how they got those plans there. I know absolutely everything. Or like when they talk about how there's, you know, a weakness to the Death Star, my mind is just thinking of Rogue One. So I think this movie did a really good job in just adding more to the story, and I think it's very impressive that this movie came out so recently and it have such a huge impact on a movie that came out in the 70s. So I think that's fantastic. And I'm just gonna kind of get my little, I guess, negative out of the way. I do think it kind of takes a while to pick up. Like in the beginning acts, I feel like it is a little slow at times. I'm never bored throughout this movie. I feel like there's a complete difference. I am always invested in the story. But honestly, everything else about this movie is absolutely perfect, especially the third act. Like, oh my gosh. I want to start off by talking about that opening scene, because I think it's so chilling and it just perfectly describes the tone of this movie in such a really awesome way. I think it's awesome when movies are able to just basically tell us what we're going to be getting from the very beginning, because at the very start of the movie, you get a sense that this movie is much darker than other Star Wars movies. And I always say that this movie is genuinely a war movie, because Star Wars, yeah, there's always war going on, I mean, obviously, but I think this one really just shows us that and shows us how much the Empire is responsible for stuff. And I think this movie does a really good job at that, especially at the beginning when we learn that these people are looking for Galen Erso, and you know, they kind of set up a plan to like hide their daughter, and we even get hints of the dialogue that they had been keeping his wife hidden, like if she had been dead. And I just thought that that was excellent, and it always gives me chills every single time that I watch it, even though I know exactly what's going to happen. It gives me chills, and I feel like it develops Jin as a character already from the start, because we know that she has so much hurt and so much anger with the Empire. And I also have to say, am I the only one that noticed this, but the actress playing Jin Erso young in the very first scenes looks so similar to Felicity Jones. Like, I think they did a really good job there with the casting director, because I could see them side to side and I could see them looking pretty alike. Also, I think it's funny that she has a little like stormtrooper toy. They have merch, guys. The Empire has merch. We love that for them. And just like the entire cast of this movie is really awesome, as well as the characters. This is a very enjoyable Star Wars movie, because yeah, it's full of war, but also has some very fun and deep moments with these characters, and you get to know in such a short amount of time that these people care for one another, and they both ultimately want the same thing, the best for the galaxy. And that just shows. And I love all the characters, especially Jin Erso. I feel like I don't hear people talk about her enough, but she definitely is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, just because like she's just so cool and so brave, and I think she has like some of the best lines ever in any Star Wars movie. And I also really like Cassian, and I love Diego Luna's performance as Cassian, and I am so excited for the new Anders show that's coming out. I think that's going to be so much fun, and I definitely want to learn more about his character. And I also really like Donnie Yen's character in the movie. I don't know how to pronounce his character's name, and I don't want to like butcher it, so I'm just gonna name the actor. I think I pronounced the actor's name correctly, but yeah, I love his character, and I love how this movie explores how you can be force bound and you can be very connected to the Force and not be a Jedi. And I think that's so awesome that they were able to explore that, because not only are the Jedis cool, like you can have a genuine connection to the Force and not have to, you know, follow all of these Jedi rules. He's an awesome character, and I would love to see more of him. Like, I would really love to see more of all of these characters, because I think they're all really interesting already in just this one movie. And in this movie, we also get a lot of familiar familiar faces. We get Mon Mothma, and she also made an appearance in Revenge of the Sith, and it was really cool to see her. And I didn't see this movie when it first came out in the theaters because, like I said in my solo review, I only started watching Star Wars May of 2018, but I think that must have been so cool. And then you have General Tarkin, and his CGI, you know, I feel like maybe it will not age that well. Like maybe in a couple of years we're gonna look back at this and, you know, we can notice him more, because I definitely can notice him more upon rewatch the CGI. But it's really good. Like, I think it's really good what they were able to do, and I genuinely think it's insane how crazy technology is getting. The fact that they were able to do that was really cool, and especially at the end, which you guys know, but I'll talk about it more later on, because I think the ending of this movie is perfect. And we also have Vader back, and something that I want to say really quickly is that I enjoyed that, yeah, they were back, but they were not the center point of the story. Like, it didn't feel like straight up fan service, if that makes any sense. It just felt like, hey, they were essential to the story, so that's why they're here, and I really, really loved that. But something that I really hate that Hollywood does so often is put a bunch of these characters back for fan service. Off the top of my mind, I think of Spider-Man 3. I hope that's not the case, because I am interested in the Spider-Verse that they're creating, but you know, it is a little frightening. But this is not a Spider-Man video, but you know, I hope you guys get what I mean. I think these characters were here, but they are not the main focus of the story, because we still have, you know, the Rogue One team to focus on. Also, I really like the droid in the movie that's alongside Cassian, K2SO. He is so hilarious, so funny, and when he died at the end, I got really pissed because I was like, come on, please, one of you come back. I didn't even write this in my notes, but I just remembered that C-3PO and R2-D2 make an appearance too. Really cute. And I just cannot make a Rogue One review without talking about that amazing cinematography. This is one of the most beautiful Star Wars movies, and it is so good. You know, we have amazing shots of the Death Stars, amazing establishing shots showing all these different locations, and towards the end of the movie, it is so breathtakingly beautiful. And at the end, when, you know, the Death Star attacks the planet that they're on, even the cinematography at the beach, it's just so beautiful. And I have to thank Greg Fraser. He did an amazing job working on the cinematography, and he's also, I believe, working for the cinematography in Dune, and I could not be more excited because he did an amazing job here. I'm sure he's gonna make Dune look beautiful. I mean, from the trailers, it already looks like a breathtakingly, really visually stunning film. But this one is, and this one has also really awesome visuals, and I love the action in it. This was just a very beautiful movie. This one and The Last Jedi are my favorite visually stunning movie from like the Disney Star Wars, because they look so good. And something else that I really enjoy about this movie is Jin's connection to her father, because she also holds a bit of anger towards him, but at the same time she loves him, and I love that we get to see that in many scenes. And their relationship, they don't get many scenes together, but we still understand everything, and especially what this mission means to her is so important, because the Empire has taken so much from her, but she's still standing and she's still kicking ass. So that's what matters. Like, there are so many awesome scenes, especially when they're like talking, and that scene where he does die is so emotional. And before I even get to that, there are some really awesome editing in this movie, in my opinion, when Jin's father is talking to her through the hologram, and he's talking about the weakness that the Death Star has, and then it's a parallel because at that same moment they're testing out the Death Star and it like hits their planet. I thought that scene was so excellent, because it just shows that the Empire is just really evil, and like these people literally don't care that they're destroying an entire planet. And I think this movie really shows how awful the Death Star is, like I was saying before, because we totally got that from the original trilogy. Here we're in it, like these people are in the planet, and I think it's crazy. I thought that scene was just really well done and edited. And the music, oh my god, the music is so beautiful. This is also a beautifully composed movie score. It is amazing. I'm gonna probably butcher the composer's name, but I'm gonna give it a go. Michael Giacchino? Is that how you say it? I feel like I'm totally butchering that. But he is so good, and the music here is amazing, and it's so emotional, and it plays just at the right time, and it's just so great, especially towards the end. Like, the music is definitely one of the beautifulest, is that a word, beautifulest? The most beautiful scores I've ever heard, and it's so emotional. It's so emotional to the point that I was listening to this as I was writing down my notes for the review, and I wanted to cry. That's how good this score really is, in my opinion. And I just need to talk about the scene where Galen Erso dies. That scene is just fantastic, especially the anticipation for it. Jin doesn't know that Cassian is actually there to kill him. I like the way they edit the shots in the rain. It's so dramatic, and I like how Cassian doesn't end up shooting him, but you know, then Jin is angry at him, and it's just like, that scene is so good. And then this disgusting evil man shoots these people even though they didn't do anything, and like Galen Erso said, oh, it was me, like I'm at fault, and then when he does end up dying, like it's really sad, and I feel like that motivated Jin even more to do what she ends up doing for the rest of the movie. So yeah, that sequence is just fantastic. If you thought for just one moment this movie could not get any better, we have the best Darth Vader scene. This is one of the best Darth Vader scenes. Like the cinematography and the coloring, it's red and you just see his lightsaber in the dark and the people screaming, the people running, the angles. It's a great scene, and like it's so frightening. It is Darth Vader and the most Vader I have ever seen him, and the fact that Rogue One got this right is amazing. And I just need to talk about my favorite scene in the movie, one of my favorite lines in Star Wars ever, and it is that scene when they're debating like whether to go fight and stuff, and these people are like, no, we're not gonna fight, and then Jin says rebellions are built on hope.
What chance do we have? The question is, what choice? Run, hide, plead for mercy, scatter your forces. You give way to an enemy this evil with this much power, and you condemn the galaxy to an eternity of submission. The time to fight is now. Yes. Every moment you waste is another step closer to the ashes of Jeddah.
That entire scene is so beautiful, and every word that she says is so amazing. The screenplay for this movie is fantastic, and you have the music playing in the back, and it's so emotional, and I just have no words. Like every time I watch that, I just start bawling my eyes out. I just think it's epic that they were able to convey so much emotion to something, to the point where I watch Star Wars A New Hope sometimes and I get sad because I'm like, wow, these people aren't seeing what they did, you know? They died for this. And the last act, like I said, is action-packed. They all die, but it's so good. Like, it is so good, and it is one of the best third acts I've ever seen, to be honest. I think it's so awesome. You know that the plans are going to be delivered, but you're still like, oh my god, I hope they're okay, I hope they're fine, and you know they're not fine, and it's sad. It is straight up sad. Like, I always get really sad when Jin and Cassian hug knowing that they're gonna die, and the camera shows Jin's eyes and she's just like about to cry. I think the acting was fantastic, and they do such a good job with their emotions, and then they blow up, you know? And it's really sad. And then we get the end, which is really awesome. It's when they deliver the plans to Leia, and I love the line that she says when they ask like, what you got? And she's like, hope. And I'm like,
the transmission we received. What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
I think I said this in a video I did like earlier this year, where it's like why I love Star Wars or something. I'll link it down below and stuff. But my favorite thing about Star Wars is how it talks about hope and how there's hope in almost everything. And I just thought ending it with that was just beautiful, and like it was just like beautiful, and it was like Star Wars. Like that is Star Wars to me. It's just the idea of believing that there's hope and things can get better. If you watch this movie and then go and watch A New Hope, it's like fantastic. I recommend it. It's really fun to just watch them back to back. And yeah, I really love this movie. I'm going to give this movie its well-deserved A. I honestly would give it an A+. I just have to admit that like at the very beginning, I feel like it takes a little while to get started, but it's just such a good movie. I really adore the Star Wars movie, and this is definitely like on the top, like top 3 for sure. Like I'm pretty sure this is in my top 3, and that won't change as I rewatch these because I adore this movie. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts, so let me know what you think about Rogue One, because I would love to know all about it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and I would love to just discuss that with you guys down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe to my channel because I am posting more than once a week, so make sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed yet. And as always, if you have any recommendations for any movie you want me to review or check out, then please go ahead and comment it down below. And yeah, that's about it for today's video. I hope to catch you guys next time. Bye guys!